Sometime this fall, we could see Vladimir Putin at the White House. What's on the agenda? Russia is concerned about American missile defense systems in Eastern Europe, placed there after NATO expanded into the region following the Cold War. The United States has missile defense systems in Poland, Romania, the Czech Republic. The U.S. claims these systems are part of deterrence from threats like Iran. Russia says the systems could neutralize Russia's nuclear capabilities and eliminate tenuous peace on the continent based on the principle of mutually assured destruction. But now the United States is concerned new Russian missile technology will be able to thwart missile defense systems. During the summit, President Putin also said the United States and Russia need to agree on extending the Strategic Offensive Arms Limitation Treaty and not to place weapons in outer space. For more on the chances for an agreement on ballistic weapons between the USA and Russia, here's former U.S. diplomat Jim Jatras. Welcome.
Thank you, Holland. Glad to be here.
How did we get to this point following the Cold War?
It's been a long time coming, unfortunately. I think there were a lot of people on our side that never really thought the Cold War was over, that after the Russians were assured that NATO would not extend 1 inch past Germany for political reasons, initially with Bill Clinton and the Polish vote in Illinois during the 1996 election. We had the first round of NATO expansion. There have been many other steps after that, including the cancellation of the ABM treaty. That's something that the Russians place a lot of stock on, and that's one reason we have these issues of these missile emplacements in Eastern Europe are such a big deal for them.
So is this Russian concern legitimate? Is it stimulus response? Is this what's driving their high-tech war machine?
Look, I honestly think it is. And of course, if you say that, then you're a Putin apologist, you're a Russian stooge and all that. Look, do you see people marching through the streets of Europe saying, America, defend us from Iranian missiles? You don't see that. When we put those missiles in Eastern Europe, in Romania and Poland, we had to twist arms. Not the Poles. The Poles wanted them, but the Romanians, other countries turned them down. It's not as though those countries are begging for this defense because they're worried about Iranian missiles. That raises the question of the Russians saying, wait a minute, those have nothing to do with Iran. Those are aimed at us.
Right. You know what else you don't see is a lot of mainstream media coverage of this. We're talking life and death. We're certainly talking about it here. Why is this not elsewhere?
Because I think part of it is that back during the first Cold War, a lot of that came from the left in the American political spectrum that was all for arms control, all for getting along with the Soviets, and for a lot of complex reasons that we can't really detail here tonight, they've sort of flipped. If you look at the polls, it's actually more conciliatory opinion on the right of the American political spectrum in the Republican Party than you now find on the left. Now, maybe a lot of that's just partisan because of Trump.
So, Vladimir Putin may come to visit in the fall. Are we going to see something akin to the Gipper and Gorby, or is the mood different now?
I think the mood's going to be different. Maybe they can call the guys in London and get a baby Putin balloon that they'll carry around in the demonstrations, because I expect there will be demonstrations against him. I don't know if this would just be a low-key meeting here, whether it would be a full state visit, you know, with Russian flags and American flags down Pennsylvania Avenue. It's going to get hairy, I think.
The Gorbachev-Reagan visit, take us back there. Largely ceremonial, photo ops. Was anything actually accomplished?
You know, I think the short answer is not really. Things were going in a certain direction at that time. Look, Mr. Gorbachev was in a very difficult position at that point. He was not in a position to really play hardball with the U.S. side, and frankly, I don't think he really wanted to. The attitude on that side in those days was, things are changing, we're entering a new historical era, we want to be conciliatory. Right now, we don't know what kind of shift is going on here, whether President Trump is really in a position to end this new Cold War before it gets out of hand. I think the Russians are open to that, but unfortunately a large part of the American political spectrum, and including virtually all of Congress, is not open to that at all.
Nancy Reagan and Raisa Gorbachev seen around town. There was a very feel-good mood. I can't even name Mr. Putin's wife. Do you think it's going to get that warm?
He was divorced a few years ago, and he hasn't remarried.
Gotcha. Jim Jatras, thank you for joining us tonight.
Hey YouTube, thanks for checking out our channel. We hope you enjoyed the video. We have tons of content for you just like this. For more of RT America's one-of-a-kind news and analysis, be sure to subscribe and never stop questioning more.